Now just take the tape off. And I'm going to use this one as an example. Alright, so we got the tape off now. Let's pretend for a second that this looks like this. And now it's taken shape to that DNA form. Now the next thing you're going to do is... That was lucky, had a cup. Next thing you're going to do is... obviously mix your food coloring and your water. And I honestly can't tell you what's the measurement here, because it's going to depend on what colored tube you're using, how much you're going to use. God, I hate dye so much. Shit dyes my goddamn fingers all the time. Alright, so put it in there. Now I noticed I needed a good amount to really see the blue through the tube. So, mix it up. And I kind of like when you mix it with water because at least it doesn't stain your fingers as bad. Alright, so now, the thing I want to tell you about this is, make sure your cup, like this was the perfect size cup that fit this DNA. It's the same height. And the reason you want the same height is because when you fully submerge this, I'm going to have to like bend my tube to get my example. You're going to put your finger on the end of it. When you lift up, as long as you don't let your finger go, I mean, I know all of you guys probably know this, but if you don't, you can see none of the blue liquid's coming out. Now if I let go, there, liquid dropped. So pretty much, I know most of you guys know that, but if you don't, it needs oxygen to actually fall out of the tube. So now what you're going to do is, well, it's like that perfect spot for everything. I just have a little bit of everything. So now next thing you're going to do is, I used pliers. If you have a, what do you call it, a soldering gun, that'd probably work good. If you actually have like some kind of tool that heat clamps, that'd be good, because what we're going to do is actually sear the ends of these closed. Now I tried sticking things in there, like little maybe nails or something that with like plastic I tried jamming in there, but none of it really seemed to hold the oxygen enough to stop this flow from coming down. So I'm just going to use the sear technique. You can experiment at your house if you want to. Like I said, this part doesn't take much. You want to try 50 times. The most that's going to happen is the water's going to drain out. Once you do the sear technique, though, obviously that's going to moist the tube forever. But I laid it over a candle. If you have a gas stove, just whatever you do, don't burn your house down. You know, keep an eye on it, whatever. I used the candle, though, so I heated it up until it was pretty much hot. Did my tube thing. I won't get all that water in there, but I did my tube. Then you grab the end and you press down just the tip, obviously. I don't know if you can see, but I think you get what I'm saying. Just the tip, and then you sear it down. Now, don't let go yet, because I've learned this thing, once that water hits it, it's going to cool down true quick. So don't let go yet. Heat it up, and then also don't sear it off either. I did that by accident too. But then kind of just, you know, clamp it down a little bit and get it fully melted. If you kind of like look at it, take a good look. If it needs to be like that, maybe you have to use the edge of it and just sear them. Make sure it's completely filled. Once you got that completely seared, oh my god, I'm losing my train of thought here. What you're going to have to do, well, you don't have to do anything. You can let go and the liquid's not going to go anywhere. Now, if the liquid does go somewhere, right off the bat, you know you didn't sear that enough. But once it is, heat it up, sear the other side. I know you don't technically have to, but, I mean, why wouldn't you? You want to keep it from evaporating too. So I'll sear the other side. And once you get the side seared, actually, you can probably see the parts I seared. Yeah, you can. See the little black tips? Seared both sides. Now, the mistake I did was, you see the oxygen bubbles? You probably can't. Jesus. Alright, let's try that. Oh yeah, you kind of can. White paper. Okay, well you can see spacing. That's the oxygen bubbles. My issue was, once you sear a side, this is why I'm saying do not let go until you know that it's completely seared. And it's going to be a pain in the balls, like unbelievable, but make sure it's seared, because once you let go and you get oxygen bubbles in there, I notice it's very rare you're going to be able to, you know, blow it out or try dipping it back in the water. It worked a couple of times, but like I said, I got the oxygen bubbles. So, just take your time with it. Now, once you get these fully seared, actually once you get one seared, each time you sear your side, dip it in cold water, obviously, so you know they actually cool down completely. But once you get that, you're going to drop them inside your DNA tube. And if your tube this is when it comes to this part being the perfect diameter for a tube. Like, grab this, put the tube up against it, and then slide it in there. If it's snug, perfect fit. If it's loose, you're in trouble. If it's too big, you're getting ready for trouble. So make sure with that press like that, it slides in, and you should be able to let go of this. And it should be snug type thing. So now I told that tip. Throw that down. Now we got a DNA tube. I put a cap on the bottom, so put a piece of duct tape or something. I left the top open for this particular thing. Well, I'll show you in a second. The next thing is the light. Now, I just happen to have this little, like, tiny little, I don't know what you would call that, like, desk, LED light thing, which works perfect. So pop these open, put it like this because I can see off my camera. So what I did was, obviously, I fit that perfect, so that's snug. And maybe in the future I was going to do something different with this, but as of now, I literally just laid it in on the top of the hot sauce bottle like this. Not like that. Like this. And it just so happened to have enough room to... Well, now it dropped in there. But it had enough room to fit on top. And, just toss a little piece of tape up here and it'll hold it. But that's not really cool. And not everyone has a desk lamp thing. So don't worry. Do you have Christmas lights? Christmas lights would work awesome. That's what I'm getting into, the fact of the hollow bottom. Because you can line Christmas lights here. Preferably white ones if you want the color of your liquid to show up really good. And then in the hollow part, put the rest of the Christmas lights in there. So, if you have a long line. And do the V, look up the V, oh my god. I can't even say it, the 8-volt battery. And you can learn online quickly how to get lights and stuff to run off 8-volt batteries. Pretty much probably any battery, I'll be honest with you. So, don't have Christmas lights. You got a little flashlight, a little LED. You could rock that. I mean, anything that lights up. Look around your house, really look around. You could find something that lights up and that you could probably either get the wires spliced or something, which sounds complicated, definitely if you don't mess with electrical, but if you look it up, splicing wires isn't that hard. Alright, so if you like this video on the idea of how to make this style, like, T-Virus box, definitely like, subscribe, share, but if you guys do this, or have adjusted the design, or have come up with crazy ideas to do this, I would love to see you guys send them in. Definitely I'll feature them in my next prop video. And if you want to see more prop videos, because I know I'm more of a movie channel, but if you do want to see more prop videos, tutorial type things, and just how some of my props are made, then, definitely leave it in the comment. If you have anything particular you want, any new movies coming out, or, any animes, props, whatever that you've seen, you want me to give it a shot and see if I can either pull it off or come up with something, semi-close to it. Definitely, leave it in the comments. And, peace! Hey! No! Anthony! Who are you even throwing at? 2. Now 2's impressive. But how about 3? Let's find out.